Welcome back to the Mental Path Podcast. I'm Dr. Gretchen Guevara. I'm a psychiatrist and your go-to for science-backed real-life strategies to help you think, feel, and perform at your best. Here, I blend medical science, psychology, and personal development tools to help you build practical mental health habits and level up your self-care. In the last episode, we talked about confidence, how it's not just about self-belief, but also about the actions and habits that reinforce self-trust. Today, we're deepening that conversation and focusing on physiology, your body. One of the most underrated ways to build confidence, clarity, and emotional resilience is your nutrition. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I eat pretty healthy. Does food really affect my mood that much? Or maybe you've never really thought about it, but you do notice those days when you're extra sluggish, foggy, or just super irritable for no clear reason. That's exactly what we're unpacking today, how what you eat literally fuels your brain and emotions. Most people think mental health is all about therapy, self-care, and medication. And while those things are important, science shows that nutrition plays an even bigger role. Your brain isn't just some abstract thinking machine. It's a physical organ with specific requirements. If it doesn't get what it needs, it can't function properly, no matter how much therapy or mindset work you do. Your mental well-being isn't just about your thoughts. It's the interplay of your physiology, psychology, and environment. Physiologically, the nutrients you put in your body literally build and fuel your brain, regulate stress hormones, and keep your nervous system balanced. Psychologically, food affects your energy, clarity, emotional stability, and resilience to stress. Environmentally, your eating habits, access to food, and even your stress levels affect how well you fuel your brain. These factors all impact each other. So, I want to put that power back in your hands today. I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian, and I'm definitely not here to tell you to overhaul your diet. I'm here to help you understand how proper nutrition can enhance mental clarity, emotional resilience, and overall well-being. I'm going to show you why you need to consider nutrition as part of your mental health journey and explore your unique needs. Today, we'll cover the gut-brain connection and how a healthy gut strengthens mental health, how blood sugar impacts mood swings, anxiety, and brain fog, essential nutrients for focus, emotional balance, and stress management, and we'll also touch on how chronic inflammation, dehydration, and sleep influence your mental health. Most importantly, we're going to make it practical. By the end of this episode, you'll have simple, doable strategies to support your brain. I want you to start with a few simple concepts, the building blocks for true mental well-being in the context of nutrition. When we talk about mental health, we're not just talking about avoiding burnout or feeling fine. We're talking about showing up fully for your goals, your productivity, your relationships, your joy, and your ability to handle life's challenges with resilience. Because you deserve to feel your absolute best. Let's go. Let's start with something most people don't realize. Your gut and your brain are constantly communicating. In fact, about 90% of your serotonin, the neurotransmitter that regulates mood, stress, and emotions, is produced in your gut, not your brain. This connection gives us more opportunities to really change your mental health. And one way to do this is to pay attention to nutrition and healthy eating habits. Have you ever noticed that your stomach is off when you're feeling down or stressed? That's not a coincidence. Research shows that a healthy gut microbiome is linked to lower rates of depression and anxiety. Meanwhile, an imbalance in gut bacteria can lead to higher stress levels or mood problems. This is why some people feel much better when taking probiotic-rich foods like yogurt or supplements that help introduce good bacteria. Prebiotic foods like garlic or onions feed those bacteria too. Keep in mind that each body has unique needs, so make sure you're monitoring closely or even talking to your doctor if you're starting any supplements or making big dietary changes. Remember, gut health improves mental resilience and improves emotional regulation. Another key factor is blood sugar regulation. Your brain needs a small, steady supply of glucose to function properly. Glucose is a type of sugar that your body uses as a source of energy. You get glucose from carbs in foods like bread, fruit, pasta, and many others. This doesn't mean you have to eat lots of carbs to get glucose. Even foods that are primary protein sources have some carbs, like eggs. Also, your body has its own process of making glucose from fat and protein stores from the food you eat. This gets really tricky when you rely mostly on carbs for glucose and energy, because this can lead to many problems both physically and mentally. Eating too much carbs causes blood sugar spikes and crashes and leads to irritability, fatigue, and brain fog. Over time, high sugar intake causes insulin resistance and chronic inflammation, which are linked to anxiety, depression, and even cognitive decline. So what does this really mean? Eating excess sugar and refined or highly processed carbs causes your body to produce more insulin, a hormone that stabilizes blood sugar. Eventually, your cells resist insulin signals, causing sugar to stay too long in the blood instead of being converted to energy. You know how this shows up? It's brain fog, fatigue, and mood swings. Insulin resistance isn't just a problem for physical health. We're discovering now that it's a huge factor in mental health conditions like depression, bipolar, PTSD, schizophrenia, and even ADHD. So what about inflammation? When you eat a lot of sugar and processed carbs, glucose sticks to proteins, forming harmful molecules. Your body sees these as damage and triggers inflammation to correct it and clean it up. If this happens all the time from frequent high-sugar meals, your body stays in a constant state of inflammation and throws off neurotransmitter balance. Neurotransmitters are your brain's chemical messengers. This leads to less serotonin and GABA, which are your calm chemicals, and more glutamate, which are your stress chemical. This is why people with insulin resistance often have worse symptoms in conditions like bipolar and schizophrenia. Chronic inflammation has been linked to depression, anxiety, and cognitive problems. What fuels inflammation? These are processed foods, refined sugars, and trans fats. What helps lower it? These are anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, berries, turmeric, olive oil, and nuts. Research also shows that addressing insulin resistance and chronic inflammation, with or without medications and definitely with lifestyle changes, including dietary and nutrition focus, can improve symptoms. This is why low-carb and ketogenic diets can help improve mental clarity, mood, and focus. Ketones are alternative fuel sources that your body makes when it burns fat for energy instead of carbs. They're helpful for mental health because they provide steady brain energy even when blood sugar is low, reduce inflammation, meaning less mood and anxiety problems, and support brain function in conditions like bipolar, Alzheimer's, and seizures. It's very, very important to do these types of diet under proper supervision, especially if there are other medical or psychiatric conditions. The main point here is you need to balance carbs with protein and healthy fats. Now, is this making you think about your own habits? What changes are you starting to think about in terms of your eating habits and nutrition? Balancing blood sugar isn't just for people with diabetes. This one shift can help all of us avoid energy crashes, improve focus, and regulate mood. Now, shifting gears into specific nutrients. DHA omega-3s are healthy fats that help your brain work better. They play a massive role in keeping your brain cells healthy, which is important in memory, focus, and mood stability. Omega-3s have also been shown to reduce inflammation in the brain. Best sources are fatty fish like salmon, and if you don't eat fish, algae-based omega-3 supplements can be an alternative. Iron is critical for brain function because it helps deliver oxygen to your brain cells. Low iron levels have been linked to brain fog. It's hard to concentrate and you just feel down, also because you feel physically weak. The best sources are heme iron, which is best absorbed from red meat or shellfish. Non-heme iron, which is plant-based, can come from lentils, spinach, and tofu. Now, broadening our view from single nutrients, let's discuss one of the most vital yet overlooked elements, your water intake. Dehydration causes brain fog and fatigue. Even mild dehydration can increase anxiety and impair cognitive function. A simple fix is drinking a full glass of water first thing in the morning before coffee. If you get just one thing from this section, hydrate first. Drink enough water. Now, I've been mentioning brain fog quite a bit. To review, brain fog is when your thinking feels slow, fuzzy, or unclear. It's hard to focus, find the right words, or remember things. It's often caused by stress, diet, blood sugar swings, or poor sleep, which is the last thing we'll discuss today. Sleep is one of the most powerful mood stabilizers we have, and what you eat directly affects your sleep quality. Tryptophan-rich foods like turkey, eggs, and nuts help produce serotonin, which converts into melatonin, your sleep hormone. Magnesium and calcium found in leafy greens, almonds, and dairy help calm the nervous system and improve your sleep quality. Chronic sleep problems increase the risk of depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline. So, if you want better mental health, better stress resilience, and more energy, start with better sleep and make proper nutrition a part of your sleep hygiene. Your mental health isn't just in your head, it's in your body, your environment, and your daily habits. I challenge you to commit to one small nutritionally focused change this week. For example, you could drink an extra glass of water a day, change your afternoon snack from chips to a handful of nuts, or consider how you can control your carb intake. All wins, and all are connected. And speaking of mental health beyond mindset, next episode we're diving into something I know many of you struggle with: time. Prioritizing self-care isn't just about knowing what's good for you, it's about making time to do it. One of the biggest challenges my listeners bring up is balancing mental health with personal and professional responsibilities. It's hard to make time for yourself when your to-do list never seems to end. I get it because I'm living it too. I manage a full clinic without any staff, just me. I see an average of 60 plus patients a week without rushing my appointments. I run 2 businesses, including posting educational videos on social media, this podcast, and my blog. I'm raising 2 young kids, maintaining a loving marriage, and making time for friends, travel, hobbies, exercise, and rest. Is it easy? Not always. Am I burnt out? Not at all. And I'm going to share exactly how I do it. Next episode, we're talking about time management for mental health, how to create structure, set boundaries, and protect your energy so you can prioritize what truly matters. Managing your time is about protecting your mental well-being and self-care. It's about life management. If today's episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear this. And I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway. Send me a message or comment here. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.